Hi, my name is Joel Rainwater, and I'm playing Danny in The GARBOLOGISTS. Reading the script initially, I was just immediately struck by how funny the script was, how human it was, how relatable these characters are, and how intriguing it is to do a show with just two people. Two-handers are a unique challenge, but the kind of things that really attract actors to that material. This particular character is funny. You might even describe him as gruff, boisterous, overbearing, but then the challenge and the delight of it is really finding how you are like that person in spite of the differences that you have, and how to bring the human similarities you have with the character out. And then bringing in that audience as the final component is always very exciting, because there are of course parts of this show that we didn't know were funny before we started doing. And the parts of the show that we see the audience connecting to in a very real way. In a lot of ways, this is a play about the things and people that society might deem disposable. It's also about how hard it is to be a parent. It's also very much a workplace comedy that evolves into something a little more profound over the course of time. And having an audience go on that journey with us has been a lot of fun. A space like this is one of my favorite kinds of spaces to work in, because the audience is very much right there. So the response you get is intimate, it's immediate, it charges you and you charge them. There's very much a symbiotic relationship between actor and audience in a space of this size, whereas it's fantastic to be on a proscenium stage in front of 800 people, but they're somewhat abstract as part of that, because they're just dark, formless shapes out there. Whereas in this particular space, it feels like you are somewhat in dialogue with the audience members themselves. Not that we're actually talking to one another. Don't do that. But it does feel as though we have a relationship with the audience in a way that you don't necessarily get in a bigger space. I think people should see this play because it gives you some insight into a group of people in terms of sanitation workers that you might not always think about that much. It's also just a rollicking good time in terms of being this workplace comedy. And then once we reel you in with that comedy, I hope, I trust that audiences are going to find themselves captivated by the humanity of these characters, the struggles that they're going through, and the way in which they ultimately connect with one another in spite of their differences.